Oh my God, I've been watching so many cartoons lately.
What's
Yeah.
one you're into right now?
Star versus the Forces of Evil.
Star versus the Forces of Evil? You mean
Have you?
is that the old 80s thing brought back?
No, it's a
No.
Disney show,
What?
but it is so effing good.
I'm gonna write it down. You can swear,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
if you don't swear, don't feel like you have to.
Yeah.
But you're allowed to.
Okay.
But I do
mean,
like
I
effing.
probably-
I do like
yes,
effing.
I
Yeah,
will.
yeah.
I'll probably just keep it at effing.
Please keep it
So
at effing.
effing good.
Fix this
Yeah.
podcast because I am a terrible potty mouth.
Okay.
Thank you for that. So Star versus what?
Star versus the Forces of Evil.
All right.
Yeah. When we start, I could tell you all about that show. That is such a
Well,
good
we have
show.
already started.
Oh, we've started.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
this show is going.
Hey, guys.
Guess who's here today? It's Evie Powell.
Hi. I'm
Hey.
Evie Powell.
Evie Powell, you do virtual reality stuff.
I do.
And that's, I think, how we met, but we don't know how we met. We just decided before the podcast.
Yes, but we did meet before VR stuff, I think. Because I believe the first thing I had ended up talking about on one of your podcasts was either the Cop Quest game that I had worked on.
Oh, that's right, Cop
Yeah,
Quest.
yeah, because that was pre VR.
Okay, I think that might be how we met then, because were you at a show showing that off somewhere?
Oh, that would have been it. Yes,
Right.
there was there was an exhibit that was going on at the same time as like PAX and stuff like that.
Right.
And so it was a bunch of like socially aware games.
Oh, right, that might be it.
Yeah,
And I was
mine
like,
was like
Cop
the little
Quest?
centerpiece thing.
Yeah,
where
yeah.
It's like people were coming up and getting.
Dude, Cop Quest was
super-
cool and still is. And is it available somewhere?
Yeah, it's available for free on my website, so you
Okay.
can just go there and
What's the
play
website?
it. Vergeofbrilliance.com.
I'm going to
There
talk
you
to you
go.
about that name, too, in a minute.
Okay.
That was cool because it was taken from real life cop stories, and like you played out like a point and click adventure, right, or something like that. Or did you actually
it was
control
like,
the character?
Yeah, it was like actually one of those text adventures. So you could move the character, but you
That's right.
actually had to to perform an action. You actually just had to like spell it out and say
Right.
what you wanted him to do. So you were kind of like acting as if you were his conscience, and you were actually playing the role of the police officer. And so it was an interesting spin because it was just sort of like this sort of, I don't know. I really wanted to capture the essence of despair of the situation we're in right now.
Oh yeah.
Because it was just kind of like it was built so that there really isn't a happy ending.
Right.
There's crappy ending and then slightly less crappy, but
Right, I
still
remember
pretty
that.
bad.
Yeah, you're just like you're taking part in what's going on.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I got to meet this lady because
Yeah.
this game is cool. It made me feel things. I was like, what's happening? I'm the cop, and I feel bad about my decisions I have to make.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
like you said, there was like no good decision. I was like, well, this is less crappy.
Yeah. And especially when it's like everybody that you work with and stuff are just sort of like, sort of egging you to do
Yeah.
crappy things. So.
I think that's really cool about video games, even now, even in console world, is the idea of being able to put you in a role that you may never have been in or will never be in.
Yeah.
But you get to experience this kind of like perspective. Mm-hmm. And that's super cool. So, yeah, I think that's how we met. Through
Indeed.
through your cop game.
Yep.
But now you do virtual reality.
Yes.
Verge of Brilliance is your name of your company / projects.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you this. You're on the verge of brilliance. When are you going to get to the brilliance?
Oh,
Can you just be brilliant?
Brilliant?
Yeah.
That is the goal. The long-term goal is
Okay.
that we're going to reorg. And when we go through this sort of cocoon process, when we emerge, it will just be brilliance. Brilliance. Yes.
Yeah.
And so I'd say yes, that's going to happen. But I mean, you can look forward to Verge of Brilliance being around for a little while longer.
Yeah, I dig it. And I love what you're doing because you're working on virtual reality, which is the most fun.
It is.
I mean, you do that
It
all
is.
day. That's your main thing. I mean,
Yeah.
you have a job too, but like,
Yeah. I mean, I do sort of medical VR stuff, like during the day job stuff. And then, I go home and work on VR games and stuff. So it's a lot of fun.
That's cool. You get to do VR in both realms.
I
Like,
do.
for your full time and your full time. It's like you have two full times.
Just 2 full times.
Yeah.
Sounds like.
So the game you're working on now, virtual reality wise, is about snowballs, right?
Yes. Epic Snow Day Adventure. You can get that at the Pacific Science Center if you want.
Oh snap! It's there.
Yes.
How'd you do a deal with them?
So it was like round about the time where they were starting to reach out and say, hey, we would like to work more with people in the community and show off what people are doing in Seattle. And I was like, hey, I'm a person from Seattle. And they're like, oh, awesome. And this is actually a fun game that kids, really enjoy. So
Cool.
it's like they have this, I don't know if it's still there, but they have this exhibit space there called What is Reality?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and so it features a lot of stuff that's like, on the spectrum of virtual reality, so extended realities, so
Augmented reality.
yeah, augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality. They, there's another group in there working on some stuff that looks really cool and it's really big. I'm excited to go see what they're up to. Hyperspace, I believe. is the name of the
Okay, I
company.
don't know.
Yeah, but it's like a mixed reality thing where it's just like you go in there and you walk around and it's like when you put on the headset. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a Western town or something, but there's just like
Westworld, I'm listening.
yeah. I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but you
Yeah,
put it
yeah.
on, but the environment matters. That's what makes it mixed reality.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And so, are you familiar with the concept?
I mean,
Mixed
the idea of
reality?
like your whole where you're in, like a warehouse, they do those things where like
Yes.
it matters where you're walking around in.
Yes.
And things they like literally set up the room or
Exactly.
area to be part of it. Yeah.
Right. So the environment matters. It's
Yeah.
part of the context of the virtual environment. So if you sit down at a table and the chairs, they might look different in the virtual space, but they're
You'll
still
feel
there.
it.
You'll
Yeah.
feel it.
I think that's
Walk
super
around.
important. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I
it's really
think
cool.
they've done a lot of things with video games where they try to like make a thing you wear in your chest and you feel the impact of it, but it never really fully, made sense. But this is it. Like this, you're already in. Your senses are already kind of off and changed when you're in VR, and so you're really ready to believe something that you might tactile feel.
Right.
Right. So that's super cool. So you're over the Pacific Science Center. If you were in Seattle, go play Snowball. What is it again?
Epic Snow Day
Epic
Adventure.
Snow Day Adventure.
Yes.
Where you hit people in the face with snowballs.
Yeah.
In the
it's
virtual
fun.
space.
Yes. Virtual people, virtual children. So a lot of adults have trouble playing this game because they're
Oh.
just like, oh, I'm gonna hit that poor little child in the face with this giant snowball. And it's like, but I shrunk you down so you're a child too.
Oh, so everybody's
So
children.
Everybody is
Okay,
a child.
yeah.
So yes. Yeah.
That plays with a very interesting thing because, like, in VR space, you can change what you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I'm not a grown up who's just hitting these kids with snowballs.
Yeah, those children are the same height as you.
Yeah. That's interesting. Actually, and I won't go on a Dragon Quest 11 tangent right now because I could. But in
Okay.
Dragon Quest 11, there's a girl who lost her magic powers and she turned into a small girl, but she was like 18 or 20 or whatever, like a teenager. And so now she's permanently as a teeny person, like a child, but she has the mind of like a 20-year-old.
Ah, like Princess Bubblegum.
I don't know that.
Adventure Time.
Oh, yes.
You remember that?
Wait,
When
I know Adventure Time,
she
but I
lost
don't know
a lot
that-
of her biomass. Princess Bubblegum. There was like
Oh.
way back in sort of one of the earlier seasons.
I didn't see that episode.
Yeah, she. It was like stretched out over a couple of episodes, and then I think that was when you first met Lemon Grab. Do you remember Lemon Grab?
I do remember Lemon Grab. Yeah. That's super cool.
In unacceptable conditions.
You have really good voices. I've decided that. Pre-podcast, you were all about the voices.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
that's adorable. And then, so she lost her biomass, similar to the Dragon Quest girl.
Yep. I mean, that was probably a random tangent. That
was
didn't
I
need to
messed
be,
it
but
up. I did it.
yeah.
So you work in virtual reality. I have a question about virtual reality real quick. I saw two things. One, I saw a picture of you with a robot arm.
Oh,
What was that
yes.
about?
Okay, so that was part of my day job thing. So I work with a medical VR company. I don't get to say too much about it because we're about to make a big sort of splash. Like,
Mm,
here's the big reveal of what we're doing. But I can say that the stuff that we're doing is intended to save lives.
nice.
And we're intending to save lives with virtual reality and augmented reality spaces.
That's great.
And so part of that is sort of manipulating this robot so that you can do things better. And so yeah, you basically what I can say is that in that video that you saw, I was manipulating that robot by using sort of virtual controls. So in the VR headset, I was able to see these like controls and tell and guide the thing sort of Minority Report style
It's
of
totally
like,
Minority Report. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's what I
just like
thought.
be over here, and it's
Yeah.
just like wee.
Wee.
Yeah,
That's, by
so
the way, that's not the sound the robot R makes when it does
yes,
it. Yeah.
that's the sound a
I
robot
saw it
arm
in the
makes.
YouTube video.
Yeah, you
It's like,
guys.
wee. No, I
Yeah.
think that all that stuff is amazing. And I'm going to talk to you about the future technology in a minute. But I think it's crazy and I think it's great. It's crazy and great. It's crazy, but it's great when it helps people.
Yeah.
And like, I can see so many applications, as you obviously know, because you work with it all the time and you're about to launch something, where, yeah, you can go in this virtual environment and really get into the way to manipulate outside objects, like real world stuff. So it's not just about this virtual space, but it's about how the virtual space is malleable and then can be represented in the real time space.
Yes.
Did that make any sense?
Yeah, I think
She's like,
so.
partially.
It makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, is there like a benefit for being in VR space when it comes to manipulating like small objects or that kind of stuff?
I mean, it depends on how you look at it. Like, so the industry standards for being able to manipulate things, like if you're looking at stuff that's just sort of bundled in with VR packages or VR hardware, the standard is usually you have about the dexterity of a person with oven mitts on.
Ooh,
Um,
that's not that good.
That's not great.
No.
No, people are working on making that a lot better, a lot more precise. People like my company and, some other people as well. And so we're looking at ways of being able to get that really super micro
Right.
precision.
Yeah.
But yeah, just straight out of the gate, it's kind of oven mitt land,
Okay,
which actually
interesting.
makes for some really fun games. So if you've ever played things like Job Simulator
Oh,
or whatever,
yes, yes.
yeah, just like pour yourself a cup of coffee, and then
And
you
you're like, just
watch people
an
fumble
idiot.
and
Yeah.
be
You're
absolutely
pouring on your
ridiculous.
legs and everybody else and not in
Yeah.
the cup at all. Well,
Exactly.
actually, that's interesting to know and to see where we're at in that, landscape. And I won't press you anymore because I know that you're in NDA territory probably all
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah.
But I will say that brings up my point was Justin Roiland from Rick and Morty has a game coming out called Trover Saves the Universe. And he wrote all of it, and it's his crazy mind, and it's literally about kind of controlling this weird world, and the weird world like looking at you going like, oh, you shouldn't be here. What's going on with this person? Like kind
Is
of
it another VR game?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I'm bringing
I
up.
loved his first one. So
Yeah, the accounting.
Accounting.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Like so many good ideas were in that.
Right, and I think
So-
this is kind of an extension of that. And
Okay.
their oven mitt land might be part of it. You know what I mean? Like he's really gonna have fun with it, I think. So everybody who's listening, Justin Roiland's game, Trover Saves the Universe,
Trover
out
Saves-
soonish, I think. I didn't
Trover saves
look at the
you.
real estate.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna be kind of like Roy. I mean,
Well, it's like a
do you
little
think it-
character. You can just look at the trailer.
okay. I'll
Yeah,
just look.
it's like a little character you control, but sometimes you don't, and then sometimes they look at you and they're like, "What's up with this guy?" And it's just very like self-referential and breaks the fourth wall and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's cool. I'm so in awe, and I love that you get to work with it. And a big fan of mine is a big fan of mine. I'm a big fan of. Hey, we had drinks. All right, so that's the thing that happened.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of Jaron Lanier.
Gerald Lanier.
Jaron Lanier.
Jarian Lanier.
It's JARON LANIER.
Okay.
100% is your homework for tonight.
My homework. Okay.
You got homework now.
All right.
He is like the beginning of virtual reality.
Okay.
He's one of the first people who did
the
it.
guy with the dreads?
Dreads.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that
Yes.
guy.
Yeah.
That guy.
I know, maybe his name
feel-
doesn't come across.
No,
but
no. It's funny because it's hard for me to recognize his name, but when I see his face and
You
then
know it. Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, that dude.
That dude.
Yeah.
He's got theories
Yeah.
for days. He's worked on stuff for days, years.
Yes.
What I highly recommend you check out the book You Are Not a Gadget. It's his
Yep.
first book.
Okay.
It's really fucking good. It's
I have
about
not read it yet.
Oh,
so.
it's so good. Actually,
Okay.
I'll just give it to you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Next time we hang out, I'll give it to you.
Awesome.
And he wrote 2 books or 3, but the first book, You're Not a Gadget, is still one of my favorites because he talks about that early time in VR.
Mm-hmm.
My real quick thing for this podcast, and then we'll move on, is he talked about how back in the late 70s, early 80s, a while ago, they were messing with this idea of extending your body in virtual space and how simple of a thing that was to change the way you thought about your id or yourself. So an example was they accidentally made the arms on your avatar character who was in the virtual space too long,
Yeah.
right? And then because they did that, you had to like get good at using long arms.
Mm-hmm.
And by doing that, it kind of like almost triggered something in your brain to be like, oh, I never even used this like skill before. Do you know what I mean? Like right now, I know how long my arms are and I can pick up this glass or whatever.
Yeah.
But in the virtual space, you are changed, as you already know. And because of that, I think there's an interesting thing there. And my question kind of out of this is, does it like switch something in our brain and go like, oh, now I'm kind of evolved in that way?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that, or is it just a trick?
No, I mean, well, it's kind of both. It's like, yeah, your brain is like super adaptable. So it's just like if you feed it data that it's not used to. I mean, there's a couple of things that could happen. Is one, if it's conflicting information, then your brain will say, "Oh, you're probably drunk or poisoned," and so we're just gonna get rid of whatever's in your stomach. And
Right,
so
which
that's
could be
where,
the case, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could be drunk or poisoned.
Yeah, you could be drunk or poisoned.
Yeah.
So it's just like, let me just fix that for you. But I mean, if it's not conflicting information, if it's stuff that it's just like everything reinforces the fact that you're a giant, or everything reinforces the fact that you have 4 arms,
Right.
or something like that. Yeah, you super adapt. You adapt really quickly.
Wow. Yeah.
To those scenarios. It's actually really fun to sort of watch people just become
The different thing.
become someone else.
Yeah. So we are, I wonder if that means we're not using, like people always say, like we use 10% of our brain. I think that's 100% not true.
Yeah.
We use a lot more than that. It just makes a good quote. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that being said, I wonder if being in VR can unlock a little bit of our potential.
Yeah. Indeed. There was I forget where I read it from, but there was like actually recently an article about this little boy who it was a medical article. It's not as fun. But a little boy who like lost a big chunk of his brain. And so I don't remember, I think it was like some kind of cancer or something, and they ate away at it. But the happy ending is that they performed this surgery that removed like the parts of his brain that were like responsible for speech and recognizing faces and things like that. They just sort of took it out and see what happened. And over time, like those parts that were clearly gone because it was like a fourth of his brain that was gone, those just moved over to the other side, and then the other side just started picking up that stuff, which was kind of unheard of. It was like, oh, well, we didn't know the brain could do that.
Yeah. It's like, no, it's cool. We'll reroute it.
Just reroute it, and then you'll do something like that. So it's morphable, which is really interesting.
Which goes back to that whole concept of potentially us being like a computer. You know? That comes back to that a lot.
Yeah.
Where like we do a lot of processing power that way, and we handle information and data like in a computer way.
Yeah, morphable logic gates. I like it.
Yeah. Well, that's a good transition
brain.
into my question to you that I don't think, because we talked before the podcast, you might not have any input in, but we'll see.
Okay.
I've been reading this book called The Fourth Age, And also been watching a ton of podcasts about this. And recently, Joe Rogan had Elon Musk on, which is incredible because he doesn't go on any
Ooh,
shows.
that guy.
I
I
know.
have more thoughts about that guy.
By the
Okay.
way, he also smoked a joint in the show.
Oh,
He took one toke off it, and everyone like got mad. And I'm like, calm down. Let him have some fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to see him a little more crazy than he is on Twitter.
He should be a little chill. I mean, he's doing a lot. He's working a lot. You know what I mean? Give the guy a break. But I'll say this: they brought it up. It's been on a lot of shows. It's in this book I'm reading. AI, the future of AI. How dangerous is it? How potentially sentient can it become?
Okay.
How quickly can that actually happen? The book I'm reading puts it into 3 different categories. Essentially says that one of those categories is, yes, it's what you think. It's going to be fucking terrible, and it's going to be the new thing that we've all got to bow down to. The last one is more of a, yeah, it's like any other thing that we make. We're humans. We make it. It's going to have limits. It's going to be like a utility, and it's not anything to be worried about.
Okay.
Those are the extremes, you know?
Okay. And when you say what it is it an artificial intelligence that just seems like it's human? What is it?
It's called general AI, which means that right now we kind of make a wimpy kind of AI that just does basic stuff. General AI would be a more self-aware kind of understanding its surroundings and environments and making decisions based on that.
Nice.
And so once it gets to that point, I believe that's called general AI, then what is that? Like, is it unstoppable? And, you know, once we set it up and let it loose. Like, question for you, what do you think?
Well, I mean, it sounds like a lot of fun. I mean,
Wait, hold on, back up. I was like, this thing's uncontrollable and never going to be stopped. You're like, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
I get excited whenever I watch episodes of Black Mirror, just to give you context.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, that is actually a very interesting problem. I would love to be around when that problem exists.
What's your favorite episode? Have you seen season 2 too?
Yeah, I believe I'm all caught up on Black Mirror. Let's see. I think I have everybody's favorite. It's the San Junipero episode is my favorite episode.
Wait, which one's that?
Oh my god!
Just to remind me because I don't know the name you're saying.
San Junipero.
San Junipero.
It's the resort for
Yes.
old and dead people.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I also like the resort for the young people who are dating.
Oh, the one
That one
where
was cool,
the
too.
two
people have
people
to
that
meet.
have to meet.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
That one was interesting too.
Kind
That
of
was
bookends
good. Yeah.
of episodes. But yeah.
Yeah, that one was cute. I
Yeah.
liked it.
So you're excited about what is the future. And believe me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm right there with you. I want flying cars. I want this city that I see in different movies and sci-fi stuff. You know, I'm so in love with it. But at the
Yeah.
same time, is there any trepidation you have at all about AI? That's my own question. Wrap this up a little bit.
It's not necessarily the trepidation I have with AI as much as I have with people. So people interfacing with these technologies. I feel like over time, like as we've become more accustomed to having limitless sources of information or information that we want just sort of immediately available to us, you know, and just, having access to resources the way that we have them, I feel like over time we'll probably start to lose our sense of perception in other people and empathy, I guess. And so, which is a shame because a lot of this technology is like sort of, it can be used as empathy builders.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'd say like one of the examples I always sort of go to is, you know, in the future, when we have all of this sort of ambient technology that's sort of keeping our body temperatures regulated so that we're constantly at a happy temperature where we're constantly, you know, comfortable. And then, you know, maybe augmented reality contact lenses and stuff that can also do things like if there's too much light, it filters it and it turns it the right color and makes sure your vision is optimal at all times.
Yeah, it's like video effects for Adobe Premiere. It's like lower the gamma ray or whatever the gamma setting. Yeah.
And so over time, when you just get accustomed to stuff like that, you don't even know it's happening. And you can kind of see that with stuff like just as primitive as Facebook, you know, where it's just you're constantly getting constant information, and you
Right.
don't even realize that it might be biased, or it might be, it might be just different from what the rest of the world is seeing.
It's a filter.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah, it's
filter.
filtered
So,
reality.
yeah, so when everybody experiences their own unique filter of what their reality is, it's going to be a lot harder when you say how is your day? It's more of like, how do you perceive the day? Because
Right.
my day is perfect as usual.
That's
Like,
crazy. You know what's funny is that
like,
that's interesting because we talk about this on the show a lot. That a drawing I did when I was a kid were about these reality bubbles, and so we right now have bubbles around us, and we have that little convex, that little in between area where we're like connecting.
mhm,
So we're connecting on this conversation, right?
yeah,
But we still have our own thing already. So virtual reality and all these different types of technologies essentially adds another layer to that bubble.
yeah,
So that's bad because that means you've got to get through two layers, right? Because like you said, like, oh, my day's been fine. I've been rewinding and watching this one thing that happened all the time.
yeah,
Get through my contact lenses or whatever, and my temperature's great, everything's fine. But like I'm like sweltering or whatever, and had a shit day, and then my you know VR thing broke or something. I don't know. It's just a
yeah,
totally different experience. So like that is interesting. It's like adding a layer
yes.
to reality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think sort of AI is sort of like the I guess the counter to that. So it's just like we will we'll have our sort of filters of how we go through our day, but we'll also be going through our day in a much more accelerated type of way. We'll be able to access information faster. We'll be able to interface with a human if the human has information. We'll be able to interface with an AI if the AI has information, and we'll just constantly be sort of in this sort of network of
Right.
just super high paced and super streamlined
Right.
content and
Right.
information.
And you're talking about like if we like essentially join up with it, because that's one of the
Yeah.
biggest discussions is like once we have this AI, it could either just be on its own and be, stronger than us, better than us in every way, or we can like adapt and be part of it.
Yes.
But
And
then
I
once
think that's kind of what's going to happen.
yeah,
is-
that's what a lot of people say.
yeah.
But that's like a no, you don't go
bionic.
back
Yeah,
from that.
no. I'm like 100% for that singularity, that moment in time where it's just like we are indistinguishable from our robots and from our hardware and our software.
Download your head
We're just
and
we're just a
brain.
part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
we're a part of this hive mind, and it's going to be amazing.
See,
I love
that's the
it.
thing. So I like that you're positive about it because I think that I have moments where I'm positive about it, and then I have moments where I'm negative about it because I can't tell because I'm also I don't know if this makes any sense or is relevant, but I'm Native American, and
Okay.
sometimes like have like these visions of the old days, which I didn't live
Oh,
through.
okay.
But you know what I mean? Like these feelings of I just get in the woods and have a spear and just like kill my animals and live my life. You know what I mean? And I
Okay.
sound like that for some reason.
You sound like that.
His name's
okay.
Audie. He comes out a lot.
Yeah.
But like there's that in me that goes like, cool, got your technology, get it out of here. This is the real world.
Okay.
I kill a saber-tooth tiger, which doesn't exist anymore, and I'm from New York again. And I could take care of my family and my clan and like the guttural, right?
Yes.
And then there's the many, many, many layers of future Carlos.
Yeah.
So they're both interesting, but is there one better than the other? Is that future one too much? You know what I mean?
Is the future one too much? I
That's
mean,
a
it
terrible
depends
question.
It depends on who's asking. Like,
I'm asking. I don't
yeah,
know.
Yeah. It might be too much for you, but you might be outdated.
Oh, bam, 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 bam.
snap.
That's a YouTube clip.
Yeah.
I'm gonna dab my way out of here.
Yeah.
You should have dabbed when you said that. Bam. That's a good YouTube clip. I'll tell you that much. That's
Yes.
on YouTube right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it will be. Damn, Carlos,
yeah.
you're just too old. By the
Yeah,
way,
you might.
I am much older than you, aren't I?
I don't think so. I don't think you're much older than me.
Wait,
It might be like a couple of years.
This
maybe
might
one or
be
two.
a constant thing that I do on my podcast, and I apologize to all my listeners right now. But how old do you think I am?
37.
I love it. I'll take anything in the 30s because
Actually,
I'm way not.
wait, no, I got it wrong. Because okay, I get that I got it wrong, but I'm pretty sure I guessed 37 the first time we did this
Oh, snap.
on a podcast.
Okay.
So chances are, and I feel like I was close, I was definitely closer to being right, but I think I was like really close to being right there.
All right.
So that means that you're probably like 41?
3.
43.
Ba-bam,
Okay.
bam.
All right.
And
nice.
you are...
30, what am I? 34.
Okay, you don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at that age where I have to think about it now.
You're a virtual age. You're whatever age you want to be in virtual.
Oh, yeah.
Real quick, I want to talk about stuff we're into because it's almost over. The show's so fast.
Oh, no.
I know, right?
So many things to talk about.
It's a lot of things.
Okay.
Some people say.
All the things.
All the things.
All the things.
Here's one thing I saw that you were into. I'm going to preempt it. And I heard you were into Barbie vlogs. Explain. Hold on. Explain.
Oh, yes. You can dab on that one. That is, that
I did my research for only that.
That
What?
deserves an explanation.
Barbie vlogs ?
Okay, Barbie vlogs. Barbie is woke in 2018.
Is she?
She is.
She's still a white blonde girl, right, though?
She is still.
Okay.
Yes, they did not change her ethnicity
In this vlog.
In this vlog, but she is woke.
She's woke.
She is awesome. Yes.
Wow.
So, yeah. I mean, it took me by surprise too. Like, anybody that knows me knows that, like, growing up, I hated Barbie with a passion, just such passion. Because I mean, and a lot of it came from the idea that she's happy being this sort of mindless, sort of useless person that just buys things, and she's completely clueless to any type of hardship or sadness or anything. And we don't want Barbie to be sad Barbie, but we want her to be like
realistic.
representative.
Yes,
yeah. In these new vlogs, like she is really cool. So she in her free time, she does game development. So she's a game programmer.
What?
She programs in C++. Yes. She taught one of the reasons that her and Ken are friends is because when they were younger, she taught him how to program.
What?
Yes.
They're like, what's it called when you like go back and change all the history?
Yeah,
retconning.
They retconned.
Yeah.
They
Man.
retconned the heck out of her.
This is crazy.
Yeah. So she'll talk about anything from just being like a person that's in a bad mood one day. She'll be like, "Hey, today I'm cranky, and there's really nothing I can do about it. But it's fine. It's fine to have these feelings. Everyone still cares about you, and you'll be fine." And she's just like, I'm probably gonna read a book or write, do a doodle
book?
or
That doesn't sound like Barbie.
Yeah, I know. She's just like, she just goes off into these things that she's into, which are
Crazy
really
Barbie.
cool.
Right.
She celebrates awesome people that are representative of lots of different classes, ethnicities, and stuff like that.
I love it.
Yeah. I mean, she goes into things like bullying, and there was even an episode where she admitted that she bullied her sister Skipper, and she was just like, she was like, that thing we do where we're just like, somebody says they don't like something, and then we say, oh, don't worry about it, it was just a joke, just relax or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And she was like, yeah, actually
that hurts people's feelings.
That hurts people's feelings, and it takes power away from them. And she's like, I did that to my sister.
Her name's Skippy?
She has like 4 sisters, or 3 sisters. I think she's like the 4th. Well,
it's a
she's
big
the
Barbie
oldest.
family.
Yeah.
But that's like canon then. Like, when did that happen? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
They're just saying back in the day, I was like a ditzy asshole.
Yeah. She was like, I did this thing a week ago or a couple months ago.
That's
so
crazy.
She's just like, she's not perfect and she makes mistakes, but she's
well,
trying
I wanted to
teach
take you to
people,
task on it. Now I can't because it's like it's doing it right.
She's
Is
so
it computer
woke.
graphics? How is it presented?
Yeah, it's a CG animation of her sitting in front of her computer talking about stuff. I mean, she still does girly things too. Like, one day I think she gave a demo of like how to make your makeup look like a deer or something. I don't know.
Oh,
it was
that's
really...
like a filter. Like, ladies like that one.
Yeah?
There's like all that stuff with the little little
Yeah,
faces you
puts
put
the-
them on.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I want them
So
to
she's
stop
just
that.
like, hey, here's how you do that.
So yeah,
with
whoever's
makeup. And I'm
working
like,
with
all
that
right,
is
fine.
like they're smart.
Yeah.
Like they figured out like what the culture is, what's going on.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I'd like to figure out who that development company is and like give them a shout out.
Yeah,
I'll research it.
They're doing the right thing. I
Yeah.
love the Barbie vlogs.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, here's something that's you might not expect from me
Okay.
because I think it fits, and it's actually CG as well.
Okay.
It's a movie called Next Gen. It's on Netflix right now,
Okay.
and it has actor voices that are U.S. actor voices, English actors, and it's originally Chinese. It comes from Alibaba Pictures,
Okay.
and it's actually based on a comic called 7723, so you can research that. But Charlene Yi, who I love, is the voice of the main girl.
Okay.
And she's this great actress, but also makes music, and she's amazing. She was in Twin Peaks: The Return. Charlene Yi, everybody look her up. She's amazing. But then like John Krasinski or whatever, and Jason Sudeikis is in it. They're like all famous-y people. Jason used to be on SNL. But the Next Gen, it's a film about a robot, kind of like iRobot or not iRobot. What's the one with the big fluffy robot?
Baymax? Or
No.
the Hero 6?
Hero 6. Yeah, it's like that. In the fact that we're like this kind of a big, fun friend who is different.
Okay.
And in this case, it's a robot, and the girl is like this, girl who kind of gets bullied and makes friends with the robot. It's simple, but it's also based on these really weird Chinese like memes.
Okay.
Because Alibaba Pictures works on a lot of different things where they do. It's hard to explain because I still don't understand it myself. But let me read this thing because I really don't get it.
Okay.
The robot film is based on the original comic 7723 by Wang Nima. Cartoon Brew learned that Nima is the founder and editor of China's leading Rage comics. So there's a website called Baozhou, and the Rage comics, kind of like similar to our memes where the guy's all angry. You know, that little circle face?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that they do in China. And they're like huge. Rage comics are huge for like these facial expressions that are big in China.
Okay.
And in this computer graphics movie, there's a scene where they go to like a talk show, and the talk show host is one of those characters, like a big kind of weird face, like Chinese meme face.
Nice.
But that's the only moment you feel like it's like a Chinese thing. It just feels like a Pixar film.
Okay.
But then it's got these ties to the weird, meme culture of China.
Interesting.
And it's kind of also cutesy and touchy-feely at times, right?
Cutesy. Okay. So, have you
I think
seen
I might have done a terrible explanation of that.
Do you watch the? Okay, you
It's
have
called Next
Netflix.
Gen. I have
Okay.
Netflix, yes.
You have Netflix. There's this show everybody keeps wanting me to watch, and it's about a little cat woman. And
Arigatsuko.
yeah,
I was trying to say it right, and I fucked it up.
That's all right.
Arigatsuko, yeah.
Okay.
You need to watch that.
Yeah. Is it similar?
No.
No. Okay. So it's not like cutesy, but rage and
No,
not
no.
like that.
No. There's only one moment of the rage. It's this weird kind of rage character that shows up in that. But other than that, it just feels like a kind of a Disney or Pixar or, CG film.
Oh,
I bring it up because it isn't like in my wheelhouse, but I just randomly found it on Netflix.
Oh, nice.
And it's definitely about the future. It's definitely about robots. It's definitely about what we could become and augmented reality. Everything is just implemented perfectly. Like, robots and ARG is all just kind of normal, And I love stuff like that. So
Ooh.
for that, if you're into that, if you maybe are into Chinese rage comics, because it has a little of that, and also like a kind of a heartfelt message. Next Gen on Netflix.
A heartfelt message.
It really
What
is at the end of
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, speaking of Netflix, what are you watching on Netflix? Anything in particular?
Let's see. Well, on Netflix, what am I watching?
Is this again your
Let's
binge
see.
queue or whatever?
Okay. Well, I mean, I have a lot of things that the 100 I think is on Netflix. Yes, that's
I want to be into
the
that.
100.
I know. Is it over?
Oh
Is it
my
like
God, it's so
ongoing?
good. Oh no, there's another season coming.
Okay.
Oh yes.
It's about
Oh,
100
I want to
people-
spoil it so bad.
No,
okay,
you're not
I'm
going
not gonna.
to.
I'm not gonna spoil it.
People
yes.
on the podcast,
yes.
go watch the 100. It's
Go
already
watch
on
the 100,
Netflix.
yes.
1 or 2 seasons.
Actually, they are. Ooh, was that season 4 I
there's-
watched?
Oh.
There are several
Okay.
seasons. Yeah.
It is subtitled, yes?
I've never. I mean, it's.
It isn't.
It's not.
It's English.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
English.
okay.
It's definitely English.
I feel like there's a few that are like that kind of post-apocalyptic. The world is gone. We've only saved a few people, and some of those are subtitled on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean? And
yeah.
I think one is called 3%.
Oh, I love 3%.
Right.
Yes,
I think
I
that's
like that one
subtitled.
too.
Yeah.
Yes, you can tell. I have a type. There's
I like your type.
Yeah. I
Yes.
love post-apocalypse, trying to figure out what is the right thing to do in a sort of impossible and dire situations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's all that show is.
I love it.
It's just like people thinking that they're the good guys and then doing horrible things in the name of survival.
Right.
So
That's the name of the
show.
game when it comes to post-apocalyptic. It's
Yep.
just like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I think the key is just to be remorseless. Like, just be like, hey, it's all about numbers right now. Keeping the most people alive that can
Yeah.
rebuild society.
Yeah.
I will
practical.
think about the individual later. Once we actually have that like luxury of thinking about
Right.
individuals, like I will be that awful villain person.
Oh, snap.
Yes,
I gotta
I
get
will
on
keep
the-
people alive.
You'll keep people
Yeah.
alive, but you also like just kick anybody out
Yeah.
who doesn't need to
Yeah.
mess it up.
Yep. Pruning, just all about getting that perfect plant.
Man,
Yeah.
I want to be. I got to be on the right side of your situation when
Yeah.
it goes down. Then
Yeah.
So I
I
wanna be
mean,
out.
you definitely need to seek me out. I've been looking around all of like Seattle, looking at.
this is getting serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking at solar panels that I can steal.
Oh,
you
snap!
know,
Just take.
Yeah, I know like where roundabouts I need to be. I'm not gonna tell you guys where I'm gonna be.
Well, yeah, don't.
Yeah, but you guys look out. Like,
You guys hold on to your solar panels.
Yeah.
Evie's coming.
Yes.
By the way, did you ever see Lost? Or did you go back to that? 'Cause
Yeah, I
That's such a-
watched Lost for like I think maybe 1 or 2 seasons, and then
Okay.
it just sort of petered out for me. I couldn't.
people lots of
I
times
couldn't
stop around
hang.
2, and 3
Yeah.
is not that good of a season, but it does pick up, and it has
Oh.
one of the most epic endings ever.
Really?
That I really love. Yeah, it like all the heart feels, all the science fiction. I won't spoil anything, but other things that are science fiction-y at the end, and it gets crazy. I highly recommend it. I think you might be into it. The third season kind of slows down, so people kind of like stop around 2, and they're like, I don't know, but it really does pick up. So
Okay.
if you're on the fence, people listening, and Evie,
Okay.
I think Lost is worth it. What were you saying?
Before we get off the subject of the 100, though, I just want to end with saying that Octavia is the best character ever.
Okay.
And I feel like I'm going to get a lot of pushback from that. So leave a comment if you don't agree.
You want
But,
that pushback.
yeah, because
Yeah,
I will
bring
I
it.
will defend Octavia.
Okay.
Oh my God. She
I'm going to
is the
watch
best.
and now be an Octavia fan from the beginning.
Yes.
Just
Well,
so I'm not
okay.
left out in the dark
Yes.
getting
The-
solar panels.
But this assessment is based off of the last season. She has definitely gone through some evolution as a character.
Okay.
But you get through the whole thing and think that Olivia is not the best, then there might be something wrong with
All
her.
right.
All right.
Well,
Or
I'll put
Octavia. Octavia.
Octavia,
not
yeah.
Olivia.
Olivia's a different character. We don't care for her. I think that might be it. I had one more thing. What was it? Did you have anything else? Oh, what else am I into? You watch Ozark?
I do not.
Oh, Ozark is Jason Bateman, the guy from a ton of things, but Arrested Development, people know him from.
Oh, okay.
And it's like a really cool, weird, dark drama. Season 2 has started, so it's really good. I just love Netflix because you can literally, if there's a couple seasons out, you can just binge them and go for it. And Bojack Horseman, I love. And I forgot how much I loved it, but there's a new season coming September 15th, so I got caught up, and it's real good. It's like a smart adult. We were talking about in the beginning. It's an adult cartoon.
Yeah. I keep hearing good things about Bojack Horseman, but I
Yeah.
haven't watched it. It's one of those, and I feel like I should give it a chance because Rick and Morty sort of had that same, like, I wasn't really attracted to its, like, visual style.
Right.
But then when I started watching it, it was just like, oh my gosh, this is actually the best cartoon I've ever seen.
I agree.
And
Yeah.
and I was like, and then I grew to love the visual style. So maybe that's what it is for me. I just need to just
give it a try
give it a
because it's
try.
really about humanity, depression, addiction, It's all adult topics, and it's
Okay.
all and like adoption was in this last season, and like just stuff that's like heavy duty, and moments where you're like, "Fuck, this is just dark," but also I can relate to it.
Yeah.
You might be able to relate to some of it. It's not just
Okay.
like a cartoon. So I'm a big fan of
Cool.
that. Like I love the smart adult type cartoons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
BoJack Horseman season 5, and new season's coming in September 15th. So you have a lot to binge
Yeah.
if you really got into it. But
All right. All right.
Evie
Cool.
Powell, that's it. We're in an hour. That
Okay.
was fast and fun.
It was. It was.
Hopefully,
it was a lot of fun.
people learned about virtual reality. And where can people find more virtual reality from you? vergeofbrilliance.com.
Yes, vergeofbrilliance.com. That's
right.
where you, keep up to date with the stuff I'm working on. Yep.
What is there a new game right now you're working on?
I am, but I haven't released any information about it.
But you could release the first information on this podcast
I
because
absolutely could. Yes.
I don't know.
Yes,
You
I
heard it here
absolutely-
first.
Well, yes. I keep talking about it, but I haven't shown anybody what it looks like yet.
Could you give us like a subject at least?
Yes. Okay. It's a VR game where Dynasty Warriors meets Sailor Moon.
Done. You don't have to say anything else.
Exactly.
Half the internet just had like an internet moment.
What?
Yeah, they just like
How?
freaked out in their chairs.
Yes.
Done. And you
Yeah.
take what would your character be? Like what would you be?
You would be a magical girl. Yes.
Okay,
You'd
I'm not
be a magical girl.
like super excited about being a magical girl, but I get the idea that a lot of people would be.
Yes.
Most
Yeah.
of the internet.
You'll have to be a magical girl.
Okay.
You cannot be a
No.
magical boy.
No, it's fine. I can get into it. That just whole concept sounds cool as fuck, though. I tell you. That sounds really good. So, okay, we'll look forward to that. Check your website for updates on that.
Awesome.
I'm Twitter. I'm Onawa, Onawa. Instagram, where the picture of you that I'll take in a minute will be, is Instagram.com/itsalotofthinks. I changed it.
Oh, okay.
So, because a lot of things was taken.
Ah,
But
okay.
it's a lot of things.
It's a lot of
So, like, what's that
All the
that podcast? What's his Instagram? It's a lot of things. They'll be like, oh, you mean a lot of things? And I'll be like, no, it's actually, it's a lot of things.
It's a lot of things. Like, yeah,
That's confusing.
it's a lot of things.
Picture of you will be up there soon.
Yeah.
And the video on youtube.com/c/a lot of things.
Okay.
See?
All right.
I'm getting close.
Yeah.
I'm trying to brand.
See, it's a lot of things.
See? It's a lot of things.
There you go.
I didn't even think
Uh-huh.
that.
See?
See? What's wrong with you? Evie, thanks for being here.
Yes. Thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Yes, it was a lot of things.
It was a lot of things.